My name is Philip Malsan, and tonight we have a United 24 special for you. With me in the studio are Ilya Samoilenko, an intelligence officer of Azov, and Sergei Rochuk, a combat medic and also Azov soldier since 2015. Both men first participated in the heroic defense of the besieged city of Mariupol after the full-scale invasion of Russia in February 2022, and then held out for months in the Azov-style steelworks. On May 17th, following an ordered and collective surrender, both men, along with more than 2,000 others, were taken into Russian captivity. You were released from captivity in September 2022, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
And you on the 6th of May 2023.
Yep, sir.
However, more than 650 members of Azov still remain in Russian captivity until this day. Do you have any information concerning their situation, or are they completely isolated?
Well, regarding the information that we have, these people are held in Russia, mostly, in different places, in different facilities, for the prisoners that they have. A lot of people know a lot about the conditions of Russian penitentiary system. And the best depiction of that might be the old Cold War era movies about the Gulag. Because it's basically the conditions that people are right now. For how much? 17 months for now? These people, they already suffered one winter in Russia. And the second winter is upcoming. They are in the different facilities and they are moving. But time by time, they are removing from one and they are placing into another. And each time when they change the exact facility where they are suffering more and more. Because new personnel, new shifts, the personnel, they're providing their type of actions that they do normally for the POWs. Russians have a very specific relationship with Ukrainians, and most of all with Ukrainian patriots. To destroy our country and nation is the very great goal for the Russians, and they are trying to reach it with all types of efforts and actions that they have.
What can be done to bring them back?
Well, I know that our governments are trying their best in providing all of the exchanges that are happening, but we haven't seen any exchanges of the prisoners of war since probably Jedi's release.
After the Redis release.
Well,
small group.
Small group. So it's very concerning situation that we have right now, because most of the people right now focused on the battlefield. We also focused on the battlefield, and from our side our type of solution of this problem is to take Russian prisoners. Capture them on the front line, and create it, to boost up the exchange fund for the Ukrainian troops, to exchange our guys. This is our part of the deal. We're trying to enforce the position of the government and, to make them do it better.
Jedi, is it possible for you to share a little bit about the conditions that you were kept in Russia? I mean, we heard from Gandalf the general politics or strategy behind how Russians treat prisoners of war, and how did you experience it personally?
I think that I'm sure that winter is the worst time for guys, because the heating effectiveness of these places is very low, so it's very cold there in the winter. I spent 2 months in a single room, just for one person. Isolation. They call it karcer. And probably that was the worst time in this prison, because it was freaking cold 24/7. And they also, as Gandalf said, they hate the patriot. The guys who have the patriotic tattoos is in the worstest situation there, because Russians became crazy about this. It's not the best place in the world, for sure.
When you say crazy, you mean torture, or?
Also, yep.
Do you feel that Russia is following a certain centralized strategy in regard to how they treat prisoners of war, or is it random? For example, different treatments between soldiers and officers, between Azov and non-Azov combatants.
Well, I might rather say it's not a strategy. The strategy is a different, separate culture. Yep, culture of torturing, culture of violence, and culture of pain. It's one of the peculiar things, because like when you will see on the results of social quizzes, in Russia, how much hatred they have against us, against Europeans, against Americans, against all the free world. A lot of people like in these quizzes, they, expressing their ideas, like how they want to perform mass genocide, how they perform mass extinction of whole nations and populations. It's bizarre because like they think different. They think different, and they are proud of their heritage. They're proud of their Soviet and KVD Gulag heritage. They're proud of their Russian Empire heritage. They were basically vanishing the nations and vanishing the countries, executing their laws and circulars in the Russian Empire when they were canceling the Ukrainian culture, Ukrainian language, many other cultures and languages. So they treat Ukrainian patriots worse than just like Ukrainian enlisted soldiers or mobilized troops. They use it as as a bad word, the word nationalist. So this is like the result of their propaganda. Just like billions of people in the world can be called nationalists because they love their country, because like nationalism is the political depiction of the patriotic ideas of the person. For now, in Ukraine, like since the full-scale invasion started, also with the Russian words of the president of the Russia, when he said like he wants to denazify and demilitarize Ukraine, and they started to bomb like parental houses, industrial buildings, maternity hospitals, hospitals, kindergartens, schools, like medical facilities, like churches.
So, I mean, while Gandalf was explaining a little bit the history or the culture that was created behind this hatred, I could hear you agreeing. So I would like to ask you, when you were in captivity, did you have any personal interaction with maybe the guards or with the Russians there? And do you believe that these people were just following orders, or that they truly believed in the work they were doing, in this government narrative that they were contributing maybe to denazifying Ukraine? What was your impression?
Oh, they believe this absolutely. So maybe 95% of the Russian we communicate with, they absolutely believed and sure that they are making the good things. They are absolutely right that they're doing the right things. And in one communication, some of the Russians asked that our guys said that when you occupied the Mariupol, and Russian said, no, we liberated. No, you occupied. No, we liberated from you. Really? And in this moment, I feel myself sometimes, a few times, like my brain cannot believe that this happens real. So it's some unrealistic moment that I just cannot believe that. Is he really believe in what he's saying? Yep. And you should understand one very important thing, that they don't hate the separately Ukrainians. They hate whole Western world. I understand it's very strongly in a few conversations with them. So if probably if they could do something like in Irpin, like in Bucha and Mariupol, in Izum, whatever this level of violence, probably if they could, they will do this in Poland, maybe in Germany, whatever.
Let's talk about things like the Geneva Convention, which the Soviet Union signed, and then after the fall of the Soviet Union was then later adopted by Russia. It clearly states that persons taking no active part in the hostilities, including members of armed forces who have laid down their arms, shall in all circumstances be treated humanely. This prohibits violence to life and person, mutilation, cruel treatment and torture, as well as outrages upon personal dignity, in particular humiliating and degrading treatment. Now, after the beginning of the Russian full-scale invasion, the reports that we have had of the Geneva Convention being violated, I mean, there are countless ones. How important are these conventions or are these agreements that we have? Are they still valid in any way, or is it time to rethink them?
Well, it's valid for the people who are adhering to them, yeah, because like Geneva Convention was created by the civilized Europeans for the civilized Europeans mostly. Russians, they can claim that they can try to ensure us and everyone like in the world that they adhere to the Geneva Convention, and after that, like we're receiving like our exchange prisoners like with 40% body loss weight, yeah, so maybe 60%. Yeah, so it's well, unimaginable. The treatment that people like receive is it's basically hell. In some places a little bit better, in some places are worse, in some places are much worse. Yeah, but for us it's not like we're not in position to not adhere to the Geneva Convention. Yeah, we're not in position like to not adhere to the rules of war. We are like fighting against the tyranny, oppression, and the terrorism that the enemy provides to us. Yeah, and we cannot let ourselves to become savages like they.
There's also been a lot of talk about the Russian Red Cross, which acts, or according to international humanitarian law, is supposed to act as a sort of neutral or intermediary partner between the state and the captees. However, we've heard many statements of released Ukrainian prisoners of war that the Red Cross was either nowhere to be seen or even that employees of the Russian Red Cross were mocking prisoners. Now, before we talk about that, I would like to read you something, and this is from the Russian website of the Red Cross. There is a published statement where they answer to accusations of apparent indifference. It's quite long, but two statements are really clear or really key. We share the concern for the fate of all those who have suffered because of the armed conflict that began on Ukrainian territory in 2014 and since the escalation of hostilities in February 2022. The reality of armed conflicts is that we can only carry out our humanitarian activities with the consent of the parties. We are not military, we cannot give orders, we can only persuade to give us access to the people who need help, and that's what we do. So to answer briefly, we care, we just don't talk about it in the media.
The last time I saw the Red Cross organization and the peoples from Red Cross, it was the day we go into captivity. Yeah. And since this time, no Red Cross.
I never seen them. Never.
You have been out of captivity for around 5 months now.
Yep.
How easy or hard was it for you to adapt back to normal life, and what did you do maybe to make it as easy as possible?
Honestly, I don't know how to explain it, but I have passed this process very easily, without any psychological maybe problems, big problems with health. And there was also the funny moment that I worked with one psychologist, and in some moment of our discussion, I found myself just holding him and relaxing him that, hey dude, relax, it's okay. And then, who is the psychologist, me or you? So I think that was the understanding and motivation that we should back to fight, we should back to war, do as the best we can. And this gives no chance to just relax and I need more time. No, you have no time. You just should back to the service and do wherever you need, wherever you should. Yeah.
Well, that brings us maybe to the next point. After almost 20 months of full-scale war, we seem to have entered a difficult, if not the most difficult phase yet. In August, less territory changed hands between Russia and Ukraine and vice versa. Less territory changed hands than in any month before. And as people who have sacrificed so much, how do you handle this difficult situation? How do you stay motivated?
I can answer.
Yeah, please.
See, in 2021, I retired from military. Yeah, I served for 5 years, and well, the war was stagnating, and it was on a very slow phase. Yeah, and I understand that for me it's a great time to try to change focus here, to try to live civilian life for myself, not just for the country. And I spent 9 months in civilian life. I had a job, everything was good. I was exploring new horizons for myself. But I knew that when the time will come, when the bugle calls, yeah, I will be in the right place, in the right time, with the right people. And I returned back like 4 days before a full-scale invasion back to Mariupol. Actually, you also returned...
In the first day, 24th.
On
At
24th.
night, it was already in Mariupol.
So we knew that it was coming.
Yep.
We knew that how it will happen and what will happen, because like I knew that from mid January when I connected with the rest of my team, and it was obvious. And for us, it's our cause. It's not just like work duty. No, it's our cause. It's craft. And we veterans right now that we know that how bigger became our responsibility to participate in a fight, because like the quality of mobilized troops are poor throughout the whole of the world all the time. You cannot try to base your strategy on the unexperienced soldiers, even if with the best, even if they have like the best equipment in the world. Yeah, but they still don't. We are in a very difficult situation so far, and the phase of war that started like a couple of weeks ago, yeah, when the Russians started to apply more pressure on the certain points, it can show how the status quo can be changed like in a matter of days. Yeah, because like the troops are exhausted, the ammunition supply is well, not great. Yeah, for all of the people, for all the world, of course. Nobody in the world like they are ready for the world war, because like the amount of supplies of the ammunition. Yeah, it's basically like two countries in the world are ready for that. It's China and the Russia, probably US. That's why they're doubling or tripling or quadrupling the amount of production. So turning back to our motivation, yeah. We happen to stay alive because like we accepted the fact that we are not going anywhere from Mariupol when the encirclement was closed. We were hoping for the help, yeah, but we were not counting on that. And this is also a very big difference between us and the rest of the soldiers, because we know how to be in the kill zone where there is no way out. I'm here till the very end. I'm here till the very end because like we already like gave up our best lives for the sake of the country and the society.
That's a good sentence to say thank you guys for coming and for taking the time and for speaking with us.
Thank you.